Alright, this game has a jukebox feature that lets you basically shuffle like a selection of like an album or something into each lap, which is really cool. So I can like go, oh, I want every lap one for all the tracks to play every song from the actual soundtrack. That's a great idea if you want musical variety when playing online races 100 times over. But they've also done a cool feature where you can unlock songs by doing time trials from the whole Sonic series, like, the actual main games and spin-offs. That's also a great idea because now the time trials have incentive to play it and you can unlock cool songs. And then the more you do the time trials, you improve your variety of songs. Like, it's just a great loop of good incentivizing people to both get better at the game by doing time trials, but also to engage with their actual time trials themselves, which are quite unique compared to other kart racers, given you have to route in getting boosts stuff. Anyway, I'm on a tangent. What I'm trying to say is that the game design behind the jukebox is great. And I like everything about it except the song selections themselves that you actually obtain. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about the songs they picked, what I think about them, and what's stupid. So immediately we have Sonic CD. Okay, the first thing I want to mention now that we're on CD is that there are games missing from this. And I feel like that shouldn't be what we do. We should have every mainline game have a song somehow. Now, maybe I get not including the Genesis games, like Sonic 1, 2, and 3, because you can kind of cover their songs through remixes. Because like we have Generations in here, we have Forces, Team Sonic Racing's in here as well. Like, you can get songs from other games through remixes. So I don't hate that necessarily, but we'll get to it. There's no Heroes or Shadow the Hedgehog in this. And that's a massive deal, right? So starting off with CD, I have to mention that there are songs missing from games that are just missing. And that's unacceptable in my opinion. You can't ignore Heroes' soundtrack. It's like arguably the best one in the series. Anyway, that's my own personal opinion. It doesn't really matter what you think Heroes' soundtrack is like. I feel like you come on. The game deserves at least one song. But starting with Sonic Boom and Stardust Speedway. These songs are great picks. You absolutely have to pick these because Stardust Speedway, actually, CD's soundtrack as a whole, I think is kind of on the more atmospheric side of things. Even for JP, US is what usually people say is like the atmospheric soundtrack, and then JP is the more upbeat one. But I kind of think both soundtracks apply to that. So I have a hard time imagining listening to like Collision Chaos, or Wacky Workbench as like a racing track. They're just kind of weird. They have a weird flow to them. They don't really like get that vibe. But Stardust Speedway is the perfect pick for that reason. There are remixes of Stardust Speedway they could have picked from like Forces and Mania that are arguably better. But I actually think that this is probably the best version of the song. So I'm okay with picking this. I love the hues. Everyone loves the hues. So this, no issue there. Sonic Boom, I don't have an issue with, but I'm disappointed that You Can Do Anything is not here also. Because it's not even like if you play the Japanese version, You Can Do Anything or whatever. Like the US version Sonic Boom. It's just you only get Sonic Boom. That's the only one they put in. I don't know which one of the two is actually more popular, like if they somehow consensus like a sample size of people. But I feel like you should have put You Can Do Anything in as well, because it's another banger vocal song. And Ocean View kind of has You Can Do Anything, but it doesn't really because it changes to Supersonic Racing at lap 3. So it's like half the point. You Can Do Anything is such a deserving song to be here. The one thing I want to mention now, before we move on, is there are songs here. There are games, rather, with different amounts of songs. So we have CD and Adventure 1. Both have 2 songs. They're split into the final lap versions. But these are 2 different songs. Adventure 2 gets 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 songs. 5 is the maximum amount. Actually, no, Colors Ultimate has more, but we'll get there. But 5 is usually like the max you'll see for one game. Then if you're unlucky, you can be like Sonic Freeriders, for example, and only get like 1 song, or Zero Gravity only get 1 song. Secret Rings has 3, 06 has 5. Right, this is all fine because some games have better soundtracks than others and more popular games in general. Like, I said you should include every game, but I don't really think we should include, like, 5 Shadow the Hedgehog songs, even though that game isn't here, because, like, I don't think the Shadow soundtrack is that fitting for a racing game. But something like 06, there's plenty of good choices, so I respect the decision. I mean, we'll get there. Some of these picks are really good, like Solaris Phase 2. But if there was somehow like a limit on how many songs they could have added to the game, like they had to make sure they had like 116 or something, or they didn't want to go too far with one game, or they wanted to have some weird balance, like their own goal in their team. I don't know what their mindset was, but the only thing I will say is that when doing the time trials, if anyone's done them all yet, you notice that by the time you get to the end of time trialing everything, like the last few tracks and your last speed, you'll notice that the amount of time trials you have to win to unlock the next song pack goes from 3 to 6. So by the end of it, they intentionally just gave you less songs, right? They could have kept it 3, and then we could have had something like 140 songs or something. But they've intentionally sabotaged that, which I don't find very cool at all. But what I'm trying to say is that when I say a song I don't think is a good pick, or why would you pick this, just treat me as saying that should have been replaced by adding a song like You Can Do Anything, right? I'm not trying to like say, oh, add 500 songs from every game. You might as well add them all, right? I'm trying to be conservative here with what I want added, picking the really good ones, and try to stay within that 116 range. Not going to be accurate on that. I think it's worth mentioning that I don't want to break the confinement a bit too much here from what the devs might have had in mind. Okay, that was a long tangent. Let's go on to Adventure 1. So it doesn't matter, it's the best song you can pick, I think, for a vocal song in this game, aside from Open Your Heart, but we'll get there. The other songs are kind of not really ill-fitting for a race. Like, I feel like Believe in Myself, a bit too slow, a bit too, I won't say sappy, but it's kind of just a weird song to race to, I imagine. And then Gamma Steam doesn't really work that well. Knuckles could work, but I get why they didn't pick it also. Biggs they could have done, but quite frankly, I think other songs should have been a priority over a song that I don't really think a lot of people pay much attention to. Like, I feel like if you're going to throw in only 3 songs from Adventure 1... Right, sorry, 2 actually, there's only 2 here. Like, Open Your Heart should have been a priority alongside It Doesn't Matter. Run Through Speed Highway, absolutely. But there are multiple other stage themes I think could have been good. Like, I think Emerald Coast would have been great, because Emerald Coast has the first lap, you could have had, first 2 laps, I guess, discounting Crossworlds, could have been the first song that plays in Emerald Coast, and then the third lap, when it changes, could have been the next song that plays when you reach the second part of the stage in Adventure 1. That was like that's a freebie to me. That was so easy. I can't believe they didn't do that. So actually, they could have done that with Run Through Speed Highway as well, but to be fair, the second part of Speed Highway is a bit less fast-paced and not as good for a race. But anyway, 2 songs from Adventure 1. Another one of the best soundtracks is fucking crazy, by the way. Also, another very small thing I want to talk about, doesn't really matter, is they picked the 20th anniversary soundtrack edition album art for Adventure 1 and Adventure 2, which is lame because the actual soundtrack covers for these games, like normally, like when they came out, were way cooler. I'll put them on screen because I think they're sick. So just picking the 20th anniversary editions is weird. Also, now that I think about it, I don't even know if the 20th anniversary editions of Adventure 1's OST even had any other song other than It Doesn't Matter. It probably had Open Your Heart, but I'm just saying I don't think they even had the option of picking Big Theme if they were trying to fit to the album they actually took from here. If they were looking at an album perspective and less of a game perspective. But anyway, that doesn't matter. I just thought I'd mention it. SA2, Escape from the City, of course. Metal Harbor. Okay, this is the first really bad pick and should not have been included. And it's obvious why. Metal Harbor is already in this game. It's literally a track in the game with its own new remix. Like, why would they include the original? That's just a waste. Like, I don't understand why they would do this over instead of picking something like Pyramid Cave, which obviously isn't in the game. Maybe it's because they think that people might not like the remix, so they were going to put the original for people who want to listen to that instead. But it's not like you can specifically replace like Metal Harbor's track theme with specifically this old version of Metal Harbor. That's not how that works. So this is a big mistake. Waste of a slot. Green Forest, on the other hand, is a good choice. And then we have Radical Highway, which is the exact same deal. Why would you pick this? Track's already in the game. Now, Throw It All Away is the only other vocal song they picked, aside from Escape from the City here. Now, I don't need to tell you that it's dumb that Live and Learn isn't here, but I guess Live and Learn is kind of in that limbo in terms of being used right now because of Johnny and whatever. I don't want to get into it, but like every other Crush 40 song could have been included. I just don't see why they wouldn't have done it. But Live and Learn, fine. I get why it's not here, even though it should be. But Throw It All Away is probably, like, if I were to ask, like, I don't know, a sample size of, like, 50 people who like SA2 soundtrack a lot, they would probably all tell me that Throw It All Away is, like, the bottom of the vocal song list. Like, maybe next to Knuckles' theme. Like, it's either this or Knuckles that is, like, everyone's less picked choice. I'm happy to, you know, have anyone disagree with me in the comments. I'm curious to see how many people think this is one of the best vocal songs in that game. And I'm not, like, making fun of you or anything. I'm just wondering, like... But what I'm trying to say is, to pick this song over, like, Tails' theme, or especially Eggman's theme, kind of crazy to me. I think even Rouge's theme would have been cool, too, because that's also a banger. But no, I mean, I guess we should pick up Throw It All Away. I mean, I guess it could work for a race. But, the vocals just obviously kind of weird to me. If you're going to pick another vocal song from this game, there were better choices for sure. Live and Learn excluded even from that. But if you didn't want to pick this, I mean, you had plenty of stage themes to go from. Pretty much every speed stage, or even like next stage song, is a banger. So I would definitely have changed Throw It All Away and Metal Harbor and Radical Highway. So overall, SA2 selection is pretty crap, actually, for a game with such a good soundtrack. So this is the kind of thing I'm talking about. Like, it's cool to do these time trials to get these songs, but you're really gonna, like, give us songs that are already in the game. Like, that just seems kind of a waste of time. Anyway, we have Sonic Riders. Speed Riders is another one of those not super popular vocal songs in the series. But I like its inclusion because the whole thing about this game having extreme gear and we're kind of going back to Riders a little bit. I don't mind having the first theme in the series represented here. And it's not a bad... Oh, sorry, I got the hiccups. It's not a bad song on its own. So that's fine by me. And Green Cave, I don't like the pick because if I remember correctly, White Cave sounds very similar to this. I might actually be wrong on that, but I'm pretty sure this is like a very similar sounding song to White Cave. So while it's not the exact same song, I would just not have picked this one. I would have picked Metal City 100 times over this. I would have picked Sand Road, I think it's called. Whatever the hero side desert stage is called in that game. That song is better. There aren't that many songs I actually kind of love in the Rider soundtrack. I think Zero Gravities is better. And many other racing games soundtrack in Sonic is better. But, you know, fine. Green Cave is a bad pick, but I'm not going to lose sleep over it. Also, by the way, for a final lap song, this starting to play is not very exciting when you enter lap 3. Unlike this, when you enter lap 3 and then this song plays. Like, okay, so to think about main themes, right? Most of them are done by Crush 40 in the series. So, in the US are usually like the highlight of the soundtrack. But luckily this one isn't done by Crush 40, so I guess they can pick it. And yeah, I mean, come on. It really shows how impactful when you pick the main theme is, because I would love... Like, I haven't had the song play yet on a lap 3 for me, but when it comes on, and the song comes on lap 3, holy guacamole, that'd be hype. So, this is obviously a perfect pick. And then we have Wave Ocean, which I think was probably just picked because it's like the main first level. And it is a good song. And you know, I could work for a racing track. And I don't really have much to say. I feel like with 06, the soundtrack is good, but it's also less good than people give it credit for. I think usually when people like say, oh, the only good thing about 06 is the soundtrack, it's actually an amazing soundtrack. But to be honest, I think if 06 was a much better game, like maybe even an awesome game, I feel like people wouldn't really give as much of attention to the soundtrack, because right now the soundtrack is the only thing that you pay attention to because the rest of the game's dog shit. But to be honest, 06's soundtrack doesn't hit too hard for me. Songs like Kingdom Valley, even like this song, doesn't really do much for me. So I don't really agree with this pick either for a song. And also, we'd jump ahead a bit. This song is also in the Shadow Generations portion, which means they picked Kingdom Valley twice. Like, you see what I mean? Like, no matter what you think of the song, like, itself, like, even if you think this is the best song ever, why would you pick the song twice? What's even the point? So I would definitely have picked Flame Core way 100 times over both of these songs. I also like White Acropolis more. But, I mean, Kingdom Valley is a bad choice, but Wave Ocean I can accept. Crisis City? Ooh. Yeah, it's a banger, but I think Generations has this. We'll have to double check. I don't remember, but they might have included this in the Generations part. And if they did, in fact, let me jump ahead. I'm really curious now. They didn't. Okay, good. I knew they picked some like Sky Sanctuary in this, which is why I didn't mind them not including like Sonic 3. Because they still have the song, it's just in the Generations part. No, they didn't pick Crisis City for Generations, thank God. But still, it's a good song. Lower Phase 2 is also an amazing pick, because this is, in my opinion, the best song in the soundtrack, even better than His World itself. I just love this instrumental rendition of it. Now, there is, I could be a hypocrite here and say that I like this inclusion, and I also like His World's inclusion, but they're the same song. So it's a little bit hypocritical of me to say that I like this example and not other examples. And, I'll take that a little bit. But, I mean, Solaris Phase 2 is so great. But again, if I had to pick between the vocal His World and Solaris Phase 2, I probably would have still picked the vocal one. I think most people like the vocal version more. I just think that this is the best instrumental instrumental version of a main theme they've used for a final boss in the series. Because it kind of started with 06. We had hit Solaris Phase 2, and then we did Unleashed had it, Colors had it, Forces had it. They all had instrumental version of the main theme. I guess Sonic Frontiers kind of did that too. They did like a remix of the main theme for the DLC final boss. But that wasn't... Well, and it was actually... No, it was a instrumental. They had orchestra. And then they made a new vocal version. But anyway, this is still the best one they've done. And it was the first one. So I would take this song out, even though I love it. Just for the chance of getting something else in the soundtrack. Like, I don't know, You Can Do Anything or a fucking Sonic Heroes song. That's what I mean. Like, you include Kingdom Valley or like Metal Harbor, but you don't include a song from Shadow the Hedgehog or Sonic R, by the way, which also isn't in this game. Whatever. This is once again, I said this twice already, but there are quite a small amount of Sonic songs that are considered pretty low rated in people's minds, and Seven Rings in Hand is definitely one of the ones I hear the most complaints about. But I feel like you'd be a fool to not include this song anyway, even if it's one of the least popular Sonic vocal songs. I mean, if this came on lap 3, I'd be laughing. I'd be like, wow, that's funny. Seven Rings in Hand. Yeah, it's awesome. Anyway, Wicked Wild. Okay, like, why would you do this? Why would you pick this song? It's already in the game. Oh my god. No Way Through. This is the pirate one, right? Wait. Yeah, this is the pirate song, right? That's also in this game already. Because Kraken Storm is this song, I think. I don't know if they actually remixed it in this game. I haven't really paid attention to Kraken Storm's music, but I'm pretty sure Kraken Storm is supposed to be the pirate level in Secret Rings. You know what? Give me a second. I'm gonna go listen to Dinosaur Jungle. Yeah, this is different. Oh, sorry, I'm stupid. I just realized I'm listening to the wrong song. Yeah, Kraken Bay. Yeah, no, this is different from No Way Through. Completely distinctively. Those are better. And then I think Dinosaur Jungle is also different from the Wicked Wilds. So I have to go all the way back. Okay, it's kind of similar. You know what? Fine. In this case, I don't mind the inclusion of picking these songs if they're a lot different. No Way Through is quite a distinct song, and also some people's like favorite songs from that game. I don't really care about that much. I think Evil Foundry is a much better song they should have picked. So I would have scrapped the Wicked Wild for Evil Foundry, but I don't mind No Way Through. Oh, Unawakening Float should have also definitely been picked. Dude, could you imagine if It Has Come to This was in the game? Razor Jin's theme? Oh my god, you hit the lap 3, and then it plays the chorus of that song. That'd be hype. That would have been fire. Every little bit of all you've got. That's so good. Ungravify. Okay, so there's only one song from Zero Gravity. I guess I find that acceptable. Ungravitify is the best song in the game, but you should have picked the Babylon Rogues theme too. Come on. Whatever it's called. I don't remember what it's called. Why don't I remember what it's called? I'm blanking on it. I have a brain fart. I can't remember what it's called. But the Babylon Rogues' main theme should absolutely be here, because Zero Gravity version is one of the most praised Sonic songs I've noticed. It's not by Crush 40, not by fucking Tony Harnell or whatever. For our Sonic vocal song, Babylon Rogues' main theme in Zero Gravity is super good. And it's not here. And it wasn't in Sonic Riders either, that version of it. Which means we have no song from the Babylon Rogues in this game. Which is weird, because, they're in the game, right? Should have been cool. Okay. This game has the biggest Unleashed boner of all time. I think we've got 5 songs here. Or 5. We also have this. Just for the Warhog specifically. So this is funny because what this means is because the Planetary Pieces Warhog battle theme is only its own album here and not in the rest of the soundtrack, I can't actually listen to this song alongside the rest of the shuffle playlist. And because these aren't available in the jukebox, this is literally just you picking the Warhog battle theme to play every single time on any of the laps you choose. Great job, guys. Because everyone needs to listen to more of that song. So that's already something I have to mention. Unleashed has 6 songs, and 5 tracks, and a character. Anyway. Alright, so we're here in Unleashed, and, okay. So the very first thing I have to mention, aside from the obvious fact that we're listening to Win Malala right now, is that Endless Possibilities is not here. What the fuck is this? We have Supersonic vs. Perfect Dark Gaia. So I guess kind of goes back to the 06 thing where, okay, they picked the vocal song or the instrumental song. And I guess the instrumental one was easier to obtain because you don't have to ask Bowling for Soup, their license. So you just put this in. That's fine, I guess. So I'm actually not too upset about the lack of Endless Possibilities, but I still feel like people would have appreciated that over this version of the song. But whatever. Wimalile is a bad pick, but it's interesting because many people would tell you that the Apatos in Crossworlds song is actually terrible, and I agree. So, in a way, this is like, oh look, we have the good version of the song in the game too. But it doesn't really work because, again, you can't pick this song specifically to always go over Apatos. You have to put this in the shuffle. So, you can't really treat it that way. So them putting the original song in as well as the remix doesn't, it's not very cool because it doesn't let me pick and choose what I prefer. It's not like a will of good gesture, like if you don't like the remix, you can listen to the original. No, I will still have to listen to the remix sometimes. Or the original instead of the remix. It's just dumb. And also, every final lap version of the original song is not going to have cool changes to it, like most of the remix songs. This is just a different part of the song. Okay, we move on. So, Cool Edge is another choice that is interesting because we've got the night version of the song. The night version of the song is a completely different song, so I'm not actually upset about this pick, even though it's technically in the game, but it doesn't really count. And I think it's a great choice, especially the final lap. This piece, that's hype. That is great. This is such a good choice, just for the final lap version alone. Rooftop Run, it's already in the game, but I'm pretty sure Market Street sounds different. This is wait. No, it's like a base game track, isn't it? How do I find that? Is it this one? This is the one. Just gonna double check real quick. Because I did not pay much attention to this song. I think it was just a remix. Yeah, it is. It is a remix. Oh, T-Lopes made it. Look at that. I think this one's pretty good, actually. I remember this remix being pretty solid. Let me just... Yeah. Like, I would not listen to the original Rooftop Run over the in-game version mix in this case, because, well, the in-game version is new. It's a new remix. It's fit for the track. You know, it's the final lap version's got a different variation of the song. Like, I just don't know why they keep picking, like, they literally must do it on purpose. Like, because this song is already in the game, because the main game has the same track, we gotta put the original song in so people can listen to both. But, like, oh, people actually don't want to listen to both. That's not how that works. Whatever. Bad pick. Dragon Road, it's the same thing! This is already in the game, and it sounds even similar. Even more similar, if I remember correctly, to Dragon Road in the actual game. Like, such a waste. Like, let me think. What's the song I would have definitely put in instead? Eggman Land's honestly not even a bad one. I'd put Eggman Land in. I would put Adabat. Adabat would definitely go in. Jungle Joyride. Like, those two easily, immediately you replace Dragon Road and Rooftop Run with those, and it just makes way more sense. And I talked about this one already. Basically, it's cool, but I kind of miss Endless Possibilities. Probably should have been picked over it. Free Riders only has the one song. This I agree with, because Free Riders soundtrack is easily the weakest of the Free Riders games, in my opinion. It doesn't have bad tracks, though, but, like, no one's going to have any attachment to them. It's a really recent thing that now people can actually play Free Riders properly, because there's a No Connect mod for PC. So the game has probably reached more Sonic fans in the past few years than it ever before, since the game's release. So maybe some people have gotten more familiar with some of the better songs in that game. But no matter what, Free is the only song that really has any stake in being memorable. So this is obviously a great pick, and I think the song's awesome. And I'm glad they picked the original version, not the Crush 40 version, because I do think the Crush 40 version is a little bit worse. But, I mean, they were never going to pick Crush 40 anyway, because apparently they hate Crush 40 now or something. Alright, Sky. Generations is a full remake soundtrack, so with Generations, if I was in charge of the Generations soundtrack, I would be only picking remixes of songs that aren't already either in the game, like Apatow is in here twice, or, you know, that's not already, like, in a remix in the base game regardless. So, Sky Sanctuary is a great pick because this is an amazing remix. Sid Hill is actually not a bad choice because Ocean View plays You Can Do Anything instrumental. So this is not a bad pick for that point because the song is great and Heroes is not here. Now, it's one of those things where I feel like if Heroes was here, you might want to give Heroes that Seaside Hill slot. But to be honest, I do think Seaside Hill Generations is better than the Heroes one. So maybe if you did put Heroes soundtrack in here, then you could throw in some other songs from Heroes, like the less appreciated ones, like Final Fortress, or I was gonna say less appreciated. No matter which one no matter which song I say from that game, people are gonna refute me by saying, "No, that song's amazing," because they all are. Power Plant, maybe. Fuck it, I love Power Plant. That song is probably underrated, maybe. Right? Like, I can't believe Heroes is not in this game. Why? Okay, whatever. It's a good choice. That's it for Generations. I kind of expected more. In this case, I feel like you really could have thrown in Green Hill Zone, because this game doesn't even have Green Hill Zone, and I find that really funny. Right? This game, I don't think this game has a single Green Hill Zone in it. So, I would have been totally okay with Green Hill Zone Modern be thrown in here for sure. Could have thrown Chemical Plant. That's not in this game. Like, you really could have filled the Generations soundtrack with songs from the classic era exclusively, because I feel like the remixes in this game are perfect for racing. And now that I think about it, I'm pretty sure this Sky Sanctuary was in All Stars Racing Transformed. I think... Oh no, in All Stars Racing Transformed, I think they used Back in Time from Sonic R, right? Oh no, that was just in the Sky Sanctuary remix. No, so it was different. Never mind. That was a tangent, just something I remembered. Okay. Sonic Lost World. Winnie Hill Zone is a good choice because it's one of the best songs in the game. Now, this is how I know that they intentionally picked songs that are already in the game as songs in the original original songs you can unlock. Because if Hidden World wasn't in this game, they would not have picked Hidden World over literally anything else in the soundtrack. What is this? What am I listening to? This is not racing music. Like, ugh. This might be the worst pick in the entire soundtrack so far. Like, #1 worst pick is Hidden World. You're really gonna take songs from Lost World, and I want to be clear when I say that I think Lost World's soundtrack is like one of my favorites. I love this soundtrack. You could have picked literally anything else, and I mean anything. Deadly Six theme, Tropical Coast, Desert Ruins, the fucking water song in the underwater level. That would have been better than all of this. Like, almost a Silent Forest. Even that. It's not even like that speed-based song, but like anything was a better pick than Hidden World. Literally anything. It's crazy that this is what they picked, but it's because it's in the game, I guess. So we gotta, whatever. This is why it's annoying when you see your next song pack you're gonna get for doing time trials is Lost World music. Oh, which one am I gonna get? And then you get fucking Hidden World. It's already in the game. Studiopolis. Yep, you have to. It's amazing. We all love Studiopolis. Stardust Speedway. This is a case where it's weird because we already have Sonic CD, Stardust Speedway. So you're really gonna pick the Mania version of a similar sounding song. And also, this is even worse because unlike the soundtracks that are like being reused here, so the songs that are being reused, at least they're in different albums. In this, you could set this as your album, like I have here, and I could either get Stardust Speedway from Mania or Stardust Speedway from CD. And that just feels weird to me. Like, I would rather just only have the choice between one of them. To be fair, this is not the Bad Future version, and it does sound pretty different from the Bad Future version because of that. But I still wouldn't have done this. I would have picked Press Garden Act 2 over this 100 times over. I mean, you have Chemical Planet Green Hill Zone as an option again if you didn't want to do it in Generations. What else have we got? What's it? Flying Battery. Could have picked Flying Battery. Flying Battery would have been a great pick. Even Titanic Monarch is not even that bad. Oh, Egg Reverie! No, come on. Egg Reverie was a must. Much rather have Egg Reverie. Metallic Madness is a great choice because T. Lopes conducted this masterpiece of on his on his music. Fucking wow. Just for lap 2 alone, I entered lap 3, sorry, and this song plays. Oh my god. So yes, I agree with this pick. This is a great choice. But again, this is a waste, and honestly, you really could have given Mania the 5-song treatment. Like, Mania deserved 2 extra songs, I think. Forces. Okay, we got Luminous Forest, which on its own is actually a pretty decent song from this game. Not my favorite Sonic song in that game. I think Eggate is a better theme. What else is better? Null Space is system, actually. Okay, fine. I guess I only really like Eggate more. I don't really care about the Sonic music in this game that much. The Avatar music is good. I'm sorry. I had to take a break, by the way, like earlier, because, oh my god, so much yapping. I did like 24 minutes of non-stop talking. And now I'm going to do a little bit more, so, yeah. Excuse me. Alright, I say that, and my cat just walked in my room, so I had to deal with my cat. Anyway. This has been over 100 times. Why? Sunset Heights. Again, no Eggate, so I'm a bit sad. But Sunset Heights is a good pick. I think the remix from Shadow Gens is slightly better, but this is still fine. But yeah, there's no Avatar songs here. I'm kind of surprised. I really thought they would have picked. I don't know any in particular. What's a good one? The Spaceport theme, the second stage, I think, or was that the first stage? I think it's called Spaceport. That was a good song. I like the song that plays in the Green Hill Zone area for Avatar. I don't remember any of their names. Fading Light. Oh, I mean, Fading World. That's the one it's called. Could have picked that one. Those are like probably my 2 favorite Avatar songs from that game. And Luminous Forest was what they picked instead. I don't get it. Infinite, though, yeah. Great choice. I mean, Infinite's theme, to talk about this for a second, it's one of those songs that, like, I think I didn't appreciate because it was, like, so different from usual Sonic songs. It felt like it was trying way too hard to be edgy. But now, like, Frontiers is out, and Frontiers' vocal songs were actually just that awesome. and I embrace like how cool, like, you know what I mean? Before you think they're cringe, you actually think they're fucking awesome. Now that Tyler Smith made Find Your Flame and how awesome that song was, you know, you go back to Infinite's theme, and actually this is also sick. So I am glad this is here. I kind of wish Infinite was in the game though, to be honest. I hope in one of the content updates for this game, that's you know, they're releasing a year of characters. I hope Infinite actually is one of them. I would like to see him in this game. Because yeah, I mean, awesome song. Okay, now we got TSR, and this soundtrack is very good. There's no Boo House, which I think makes sense because Sand Road's already in the game. I think it's also a remix of the same song. But okay, we have Ocean View, and this is dumb because it's You Can Do Anything remix, and we already have You Can Do Anything remix in the game because of Ocean View's track. But this is literally Ocean View. This is like, they literally remixed a remix in this game, pretty much. In fact, let me double check. How different is... Well, let me check this while I'm here. No, I think it's slightly different than what I was thinking of from TSR. Let me check. Wait, oh, the intro is different. Yeah, it is different, but it's literally, they reused the track from all the previous Sonic Racing games that had Ocean View. Oh my god, I have to scroll all the way down. Oh my god. But I mean, it's a good track. Pretty good from this game. But I'm finding it hard to care even more about complaining about these kinds of things where it's like, we already have it in the game, we have it again here. Like, why would you pick the same song twice when you could have picked something different, like Wisp Canyon? Wisp Canyon is like one of the best songs in that game. Everyone loves Wisp Canyon. Why is it not picked? Roulette Road, okay. We have Roulette Road also in the game already with its own new remix. Like, come on, guys. Sky Road's also in the game already? Wait. Hold on. No, yeah, they are different. They literally are different. They just... Odd. Alright, so that's it for Team Sonic Racing. Overall, they really should have picked songs that weren't already in the game. I sound like a broken record at this point, but come on, guys. It's so easy to pick good songs that aren't just ones already in the game. I want more song music variety. I don't want to listen to the same crap. Okay, but here's the thing. Now we're on Sonic Colors. Sonic Colors has 5 songs, but actually this is Sonic Colors Ultimate. So, there's a big problem with this, and that's the fact that I don't think there is a person who thinks Colors Ultimate soundtrack is better than the normal soundtrack at all for Sonic Colors, the original. That person doesn't exist. I'd love to find it if they're real. And imagine listening to this while racing. Or maybe this. Also already a song in the game, by the way. A much, much superior remix, I might add. And they put this in the game. Man, imagine saying, yeah, we gotta put this in the game. Instead of, like, Asteroid Coaster or Aquarium Park. Isn't that crazy? How we have to have Starlight Carnival in Colors Ultimate, which sounds almost exactly the same as the original in the original game, Sonic Colors, which already would have been a bad choice because Starlight Carnival is already in this game. But it's just slightly worse still. Like, there's no point. This is the worst of every situation. It's not only reusing songs that are already in the game, it's also reusing songs from the remixes of already existing songs that were way better. They could have picked the good versions of the songs, but no, they had to pick Colors Ultimate. The only reason they did this was because, you know, Colors Ultimate's the new game. You can buy it for all your modern consoles, not selling the old one anymore. Sonic Team don't really care about picking the best versions of these songs if they have to do such a thing. There is a very clear reputation for the Ultimate versions of these songs, and that most of them are inferior. And it was quite annoying when Sonic Colors Ultimate seemingly just forced the new remixes on you, whether you like them or not. But, you know, whatever. As for the actual picks themselves, excluding these two, we've got Tropical Resort, the main theme, and Planet Wisp. And Planet Wisp is a great choice. I don't really have to explain that one. It's got a really good hook here. Well, not a really good one, but it's pretty hype. I do think that Astro Coaster again would have been a better pick over these especially. And if these didn't exist and we only had between Planet Wisp, Tropical Resort, and Reach for the Stars, Tropical Resort I agree with completely, but I still think Asteroid Coaster and Aquarium Park are better than Planet Wisp personally. So that would have been like my own choice. But again, I wouldn't want the Called Ultimate version of those songs because they're a lot worse. So this whole situation is just lame. And they put all these songs in and nothing from Sonic Runners or R or Heroes or Shadow. Isn't that crazy? That is so crazy, guys. Okay. We have Origins. Like, it is a Sonic World remix, which I actually didn't know until recently because I actually played Sonic World for the first time in Sonic Jam. So I didn't realize that Origins was actually remixing that song. So this is kind of cool for me to realize now that I'm gonna post all that, I guess. But as a song to listen to in a race, you start lap 3 and then this plays. Is that really hype? I'm not really hyped to this song. This is the menu theme. Now, here's the same situation as Chaos Ultimate. They would not have picked Origin as a soundtrack if this wasn't a game they're currently selling and want to advertise to you. But this makes no sense, because who the fuck is going to listen to this song and go, oh, hell yeah, I gotta buy Sonic Origins? No, they're not going to do that, because this song sucks. They're doing the opposite. They're making people not want to get Origins. Sure, they're making aware of its existence, but like, come on, guys. Like, it's a game collection. This is like one of the only original songs in the entire thing. Maybe the only one. Oh, well, I guess the Sonic 3 soundtrack technically counts. Actually, it would have been funny if they did that. If they put, like, Sonic 3 Ice Cap in here for the Origins part. That would have made me laugh. But still, this is probably actually one of the also worst choices they could have done, period. But it's just because, to them, Sega thinks this works because of advertisement, but doesn't. No one actually cares. Imagine seeing, like, I remember when I saw this as the next song I'm going to get. I'm like, oh, I'm going to get an Origin song? Like, which one? Like, at least when you get, like, you know, a Sonic Unleashed song, you know, I'm seeing that, okay, and I get, like, 3 Unleashed songs, for example, like 2 or whatever. You get more than 1 usually. I do 6 tracks in time trials to unlock fucking this on my 3rd lap. That's amazing. Okay. We're here with Frontiers. Frontiers' choices mirror a lot of the same issues, but I am finding it interesting that they have picked I'm Here Revisited over the main theme. This is the case that I find uncharacteristic because technically this isn't quite the main theme of the game. I forgot who does the original version of I'm Here. Obviously, the not Kellen Quinn version is what I'm talking about. That's like the real main theme. The I'm Here Revisited is just the final boss song for the DLC. And this, I think, is interesting because I want to say, maybe I need to get like a consensus for this. I don't know, if you have an opinion on this, let me know in the comments, but I think the I'm Here Revisited version is more popular than the original version of the song. Generally, people just like Kellen Quinn's vocals more, and I agree. I did not really care much about I'm Here, but I'm Here Revisited and the instrumental version that plays before this song in the DLC is actually very good. So this is the case where they actually did pick the better version of the song and not the inferior version of the song like they did with, like, Colors, for example. Like, okay, that's something. Maybe they did actually have, like, a little meeting and go, alright, guys, do we like Revisited more or the original? And then they decided to throw the Revisited version in. And that's cool. It's a great song, and I'm glad it's here. And there are some other good picks for Frontiers. This is not one of them. This is a good song. And it works, like, lap 3 right here. But if you know anything about Crossworlds OST, you already know that the Crossworlds version of this song is, like, probably the best song in this entire game. Arguably. I mean, there are some contenders. Aqua Road is pretty good. Or Aqua Forest, I think it's called. There are some really awesome tracks. What's the other one called? Oh, there's another really good one. I think Top of Factory was good too. There's another song that's blank in my mind right now. But what I'm trying to say is, the song that blew up when people realized, oh wait, this game might actually have good music after listening to, like, Apatos and the ONT, was Cyberspace's theme. And the original Cyberspace 1-2 is still a good song, but it's pales in comparison to the new remix in this game. So when it comes to the fact of, well, you're going to pick this or the new one, well, it's not really that interesting because, one, you can't even pick this over the original, or the remix rather. But this just so much worse. I'm gonna be hard-pressed to find anyone ever who thinks this 1-2 is better than the remix we just got. Quite frankly, the remix in this game is like... I might as well just play it as I'm talking about it. I feel like I should be doing that. Oh no, oh there it is. I feel like the remix is like... This sounds much more like a Sonic song. It has so much more energy to it. The new, like, parts they add to the song, that, like, the guitar string later on, and the saxophone that comes in, oh my fucking god. It's so good. But we're not here to talk about the actual main soundtrack. We're wrapping up this, and I have to go all the way down. Oh my god. Okay, moving on. So, in a surprising turn of events, Sonic Superstars is actually probably the most acceptable list so far. I don't really have an issue with any of the picks, and I think the part of the reason is because they picked T. Lopes for every single track here. They picked all his contributions. He might have done more than this. I don't actually know his entire works in this game, but I know most of the soundtrack was done by Jun Sonoe, and I know a lot of people, including myself, don't really care about the soundtrack. They kind of try too hard to try to be like Genesis games still. Jun Sonoe kind of hasn't really got it yet when it comes to composing classic music. However, T. Lopes absolutely has got it, and it really shows the songs they picked are really good. All of these are great choices, and I wouldn't pick any more from this game because of that. I think these are definitely 3 solid ones that have good variety between them overall. And, I mean, there's nothing here that is already in the game. At first, I thought that these songs were a medley of the song that plays the North Star Islands track, but the North Star Islands track in the game is actually just its own, like, it's the title theme of the game, like the main theme of Sonic Superstars. And Bridge Island kind of sounds like the main theme, but it's not quite like that. So, actually, all of these songs are not already in the game, unlike pretty much every single other OST. Actually, I think literally all of them except, like, Origins. At least one of the songs in these albums, or it's already a song in the game, or there's a pick I find questionable in general. I don't have that problem with Superstars. I don't really care about, like, most of the soundtrack, like I said. It's, like, lower tier for me. But despite that, they did pick a selection of 3 songs that, yeah, I would say these are the best in the game. And there's no reason to be mad at any of them. So good job, I guess. Now, Shadow Generations, on the other hand, this is another Sonic soundtrack I don't particularly care about that much. The only exceptions to the soundtrack that I actually really, really like is Space Colony Arc and BioLizard, which they happen to have also picked both of these. So we're still going positive so far. I love Space Colony Arc's remix. This is way, I don't want to say way better than Final Rush remix in SA2, but I really like this remix. And the BioLizard remix, this is just straight up the best BioLizard theme we've ever had. Like, I know people like the original in SA2, but I love this one so much more. This is the best BioLizard. Rashad B composed it, and I think that's really cool. Seeing just like gamer username in the credits of this game, like for a song in an official Sonic game, I think that's funny, but also just cool. Like, BioLizard's theme is fantastic. And Space Colony Arc is an awesome remix of the song. Good picks all around. And we got Kingdom Valley. You know, like I said before, it's really dumb that this is in the game because we already have Kingdom Valley as a song in the game already with Sonic 06 having it. Like, okay, guys, we don't need the same song twice. This is a case of, like, we have the same song twice in the game, but it's actually from the same album, you know? It's another Unlockable song. They literally doubled down on Unlockable songs. This is stupid. It's so dumb. Then we got Boss Battle Metropolis, which is not a song I don't think anyone really cares that much about. I could be wrong. I don't think I've thought about this song a single time since I looked at it in this soundtrack. So that's what it, that's what it's like for me. But I mean, it's not a bad song. I just don't know why you pick this over what's the? I mean, I was gonna say I don't know what else you'd pick. I don't know. I mean, I think Shadow Generation's soundtrack is just kind of mid. Like, I wouldn't pick like most songs. I guess I'd pick like Bullet Station, just because we don't have Heroes and, you know, get more Heroes music in there. But I still prefer the original Bullet Station. So, you know, personally, I wouldn't pick many other remixes over the original. But in this case, we don't have original Heroes. Why not? You know, we don't need Sunset Heights. I don't know. The Shadow Generations is a decent selection because they got my 2 favorite remixes. But Kingdom Valley is a complete waste, and I don't think this is a good choice either. But, whatever. And, well, with Shadow Gens, that's literally it. There's no heroes, no Shadow, no Sonic R, no rivals, no 8-bit games, like any cool remixes of those, or like the official YouTube channel mixes like Station Square or Underground Zone. Like, you could have picked some deep cuts here, guys. Like, you know, this is... The Sonic fans that are going in time trials to grind out all these A ranks or even S ranks to get these songs, they're the ones who really appreciate some awesome cuts from songs that aren't represented. Like, there's no songs from the Rush trilogy. I said trilogy, more like duology. I just counted towards DS for no reason. But yeah, the Sonic Rush games aren't here. The advanced games aren't here. Like, you know, it could have been here. But no, instead we really had to get, you know, everyone's favorite song, title main menu. This just had to be in the game, guys. We really needed Sweet Mountain and Starlight Carnival again. You know what I mean by, like, you're picking these songs, like, get priority over actual songs that aren't in the game already, or better songs in general, that no one would ever ask. Like, no one asked for, like... Hold on. No one asked for Hidden World. Not a single soul asked for it to be in the game at all as a track, let alone as an extra unlockable track, when it's already in the game as a better remix. It's just... Ugh. God, this track... It's so asinine. Completely asinine to me. This whole thing. That's why I had to make this video, because it's like, I spent all this time doing time trials, I get all these things, and I'm rewarded with an album of songs that is extremely lackluster. Like, come on, guys. And, you know, Sonic Racing Crossworlds OST itself is pretty good, actually. It seemed a bit bad at first, but they did a pretty good job with a lot of the songs in this game. I really like Cyberspace. I think Kraken Bay sounds cool. We've got the Haloska remix. I'm a big fan of this one. Like these Steampunk City is also good. Digital Circuit, like this game soundtrack is great. So I'm not like blaming the sound direction or the sound team or anything with these kind of decisions. It's just like come on, guys, you can do better than this. Like, okay, you know, I say you can do better than this, but I guess Sonic Generations had a pretty bad music selection as well. It was okay, but I still feel like Generations could have been even better. So Sonic Team are not amazing at picking old songs for their games as like unlockables. But Christ, they're getting worse. Like, wow. Shadow Generations had tons of songs, actually. You know, I was criticizing normal Generation, but Shadow Gens, I'm pretty sure it had like almost every single Shadow the Hedgehog ending song, which I did not expect. On top of tons of Crush 40, tons of like just songs that I don't even think Shadow was involved in, really. I think it was just like regular Sonic music that wasn't even included in normal Generations. Shadow Gen's unlockables were great. This is not a good unlockable system. Quite frankly, I would call this a waste of time. Sure, you can't get this song, but... Oh, God. All that work for time trials, all that, like, consideration for adding these old music and incorporating the albums like this. You know what I mean? Like, instead of random track, random music. Also, I can listen to Hidden World. And this. Oh, sorry, I mean this. This over, like, Ocean View or something. Like, come on, guys. Okay, my voice is fucking exhausted. I've been talking, not quite for an hour straight, because I took some breaks, but, oh my god. That was the soundtrack. It is every song in this game. Now, actually, I have heard that songs like Sonic R soundtrack is actually in this game's, like, files. I don't know if it's, like, the songs are in the files or if the text are in the files, but I've heard that. And if that's the case, then I only hope this means that they'll add more songs later, like, through updates. Hopefully, like, maybe, you know how, like, they're adding the Crossworld tracks, as, like, in the game eventually? There's gonna be the 2 cups. So maybe, like, they'll add more time trials rewards that way. You can unlock more songs. Like a big pack of a bunch of Sonic songs they didn't add before. That'd be cool. Either way, I would just appreciate more updates to this, because I love the idea of setting each lap to have... Like, I could do this for each thing, and now I have a randomization between over 100 songs to play. Now, 100 isn't actually that many, to be honest, but... And also, it's kind of scuffed, because it's 100, but in reality, it's like half of that. It's more like 60 or something. Because Like Dragon Road Day and Final Lap, or like, they're separate, for example. They have the Final Lap counting as different songs. So technically, it's not actually that many, but you know what I mean? If they add more songs, this feature of setting Final Lap music is great. Anyway, I'm done. I don't know how to end this video. I'll just ask, what's a song that you wish was in this game that isn't in this game? Because I can't believe they didn't put I Am All of Me in this game, or What I Made Of. What is wrong with this company?